bachelor's degree in dairy technology from India Kerala and master's degree in engineering, which provided him with a strong foundation in processing technologies and plant maintenance. He also received the Rajiv Gandhi Shiromani Award from His Excellency Shri Sayyid Siftiyaradi, the Governor of Jharkhand, in recognition of his outstanding contributions.
Now, we humbly request the session's chairman to take over the further session. Thank you, sir.
Please, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon to you all. Welcome to this post-bac session of this national seminar on Indian dairy and food industry in Viksit Bharat. This session is, as already explained by the Shreya, revolutionizing traditions, modernization in Indian dairy and food industry. We know that to revolutionize Indian food and dairy industry, we need to mechanize. Without automation and mechanization, we cannot achieve what we are looking for, that 2047 to 047. One way we are increasing the production, and subsequently there are losses, many losses in the post-harvest sector of any commodity, agricultural commodity, as well as problems we are facing in the dairy industry also. So automation, mechanization, lead by AI and machine learning approach, that is going to play a very important role by 2047 to achieve the goal. And this session is well planned. I welcome all my distinguished speakers, Dr. R.P. sir, Anil Saigal sir, and Pramod Khanna sir. Sanjay Bhatia sir, nahi hai kya? So I will request to the one by one speakers. First is Mr. B.P. Rao sir, Executive Director, ISTEP. Mr. Pradeep Khanna ji, Group Project Manager, Chandigarh, he is also. So I will request to Mr. Sanjay Bhatia ji to start his presentation, and also since time is less, then I will request him to be within time. 15 minutes will be enough. And at the last, if time allow us, then we will go for the discussion session for 1 or 2 questions from the audience. So,
काउंटर है सर हमारे पास। एक मिनट
Namaskar sir, thank you very much for giving us opportunity to talk about automation. In fact, in session 1 and in session 2 also, a lot of buzzwords are really coming out. We are talking about efficiency, revolution, so a lot of things we are talking about, and then there are some words which came out was Industry 4.0. You know, what is Industry really 4.0 we are talking about? It is nothing but it is basically digitization of our informations, where we are taking the informations digitally and then we are evaluating. But what was before that? It was Industry 3.0, then there was Industry 2.0, so these are industrial revolutions. In fact, automation started with Industrial 3.0, which was a revolution way back in 1969, when automation came into this picture. Now, how the automation really came into this picture was there was a need of increasing the efficiency and repeatability and giving, setting some set rules for the manufacturing. That's how these automation, word and the automation world came into this picture. Gradually in 2011, this Industry 4.0, which has now been told, and now, we are really reaping the fruits of that Industry 4.0 is coming, which is digitization. Now, I will like to, divide into these two platforms, and this is what it is only majorly related to manufacturing, and then gradually this manufacturing interrelated with supply chain management. Now, when we are talking about this, I will like to divide this, into two layers. One is the OT, which is operation technology, and one is IT, which is information technology, where the digitization word is there. When we are taking out digitization, now this is where we are talking about getting the informations, getting the details to analyze how I am running my plant, what are the parameters I am maintaining, what I really require for a process, what I really require for a machine. Now, some distinguished guests were also talking about the issues of maintainability of the people, the skill level of the people. So that is where also, this automation is taking a very major role, which is helping out to, address these units, doing some standardization so that we can have a maximum efficiency out of that. Now, as dynamic, I have focused this presentation only on dairy industry, but I'll just give you a brief what dynamic is. We were formed in 1996, so we are today a 29-year company focusing on electrical and automation. And we are 75 people on the board, and we are a limited organization based out in Noida. This is what we do. We do turnkey projects, design, project management, software development, FAT. This is what the industries are. We are into food industry. Predominantly, we are very strong in FMCG, whether you talk about processed food, raw food, and then dairy and oil. A key customer base, what we have is Nestle's, ITC's, and Unilever's, to name few, including the Cadbury's and all. So that is where we are, into that. But this presentation is predominantly focused to, the dairy industry, where we are giving you some glimpse of, the electrical automation and, the digitization theme, what we have been doing in this industry. So I'll just scroll through the predominantly, some screens which will give you a glimpse of that. Is that, you have intake, which is again, we are now automating complete intake section, unloading section, storage sections, and then again, the play is the datas, where you are talking about the, because in dairy industry you see temperature, energy, and all these things are playing very, very major role in various sections. And apart from the temperature, the status of the utility machines are also playing a very, very major role. So where, we are talking about the efficient ways to analyze the things. So this is some glimpse or some snapshot of the screens, what we have implemented in this type of industry. So moving further, you have raw chilled milk, average temperature, a day report, then you can have a week report, and you can also see, how your components are performing, how your machines are performing, and you can relatively take the corrective actions if you find any major deviations. So this is giving you a predominantly lot of information to correct yourselves. Same thing is, this dashboard is basically for milk processing, shallow dashboards, volume, the levels, what you are having in a WIP. Again, we still come to milk processing section. So I am going by step into a milk processing. Pasteurization efficiency reports are there, where we are measuring the efficiencies. Milk processing temperature reports. chiller screens, because ultimately this is very important tool which is doing all the temperature controls of our system. Ice building tanks, IBT section, the temperature graphical representation. So digitization, you can have various representation to analyze yourself better. Evaporator section, where you are controlling from the central place. So, you know, the reduction in the manpower, the information to a man, how to operate, and giving him all the data so that he can operate well. So these are various screens with the stators and alarms. Again, things are very tiny, so it is very difficult to sometimes, you know, to see that, but it's complete evaporation report, how my evaporator is, you know, really responding. It is very, very important in the manufacturing industry to really understand, you know, I have invested a money in my machines. Now, how am I performing? And where is the challenge? Is it a operational challenge, or it's a process challenge, or it's a component challenges? So because a manufacturing is a complex process, even one weak link can hit the, you know, the product quality, the efficiency and everything. So this is where, you know, we are doing SWOT analysis apart from the control part. Why I am talking about a lot of analytics and data is because now this is the second level of automation which is moving. This is moving on digitization, where we are doing a lot of analytics, because automation by default we are giving. But am I running in the right way? Am I having the right efficiency and utilizing a machines rightly? So am I, taking my energies in the right manner? So all these things are very, very important today to have a major efficiency and to be up in the market. These are few snapshots of the drying sections, what we are giving. I'm not going to go in details. Then packing section becomes very, very important today. Packing machines are getting integrated. A lot of packing machines as a standards are giving information which are interrelated with the automation system or the process system, so that you can, you know, really know what are the packing, what pouches or what size of pouches, how many pouches, what is the wastages. All these things are being mapped out, including the counting, where you are also talking about the day-to-day efficiencies, what you have input and what is now getting output. Again, packing section temperature reports. So temperature becomes a very, very key effect in the dairy industry, as you all know. So this is various sections of recordings what we're giving, so that you can really, work out whether the performance of your equipment are in a better manner. Cold room screens. Again, temperature report for the cold room screen, refrigeration screens. All these reports are there. Then, of course, your energy report, which is also very, very important. Because energy today is a running cost for any industry. And how you're going to be efficient? You have to produce a better product with the same manufacturing time and machine. So that's where, the correlations are very, very important here. So energy plays a very, very role, because you are running a plant with 60%, you are running a plant with 70%, there is always a major amount of energy which is being used. So it is always important, a challenge, to run the plant into maximum efficiency, so that we can per capita or per unit energy is being, counted for. So these are hourly consumption also of your energy reports, depending, and correlate. You can correlate with your production reports, and you can see, how your plants are performing. So these are various energy parameters. I'm not going into that. Homogenized parameter consumption and all, CIP sections. Gradually, this is a major process. Then there are individual machine or individual sections like CBM section. I've just taken a snapshot for that. Butter silo section, salt mixing section, past water section, paneer pasteurization section, whey silo section, prem silos, WIPC silos, condensates, treated water. So all these things are being again controlled, monitored and digitized. So this is what a small brief of what we are doing in a dairy industry. Thank you very much.
questions will take later on. I request Dr. R.K. Singh sir to deliver his talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, Dr. Jadhav sir. Thank you. Good afternoon to dignitaries sitting on dais, sitting on front row, and my students, colleagues, senior, junior, everybody. So, I'm going to speak on what is the role dairy and food industry could play in really making Viksit Bharat. So how we can, each one of us has got a great role to play. Our NDRA, our mother NDRA Institute has a great, responsibility to play how these all things can be achieved. Now, I categorize it in three parts. First is farming level. Before that, veterinary and cloning and all those things, that's not my subject, so I won't touch. So, first is clean milk production. Then second comes transportation. Third comes processing. Transportation and milk collection, chilling center and processing will play a very big role to produce a good quality international grade milk and milk products. And the third stage comes packing. Good packing, attractive packing, and then finally marketing. Selling our product in Indian market and will not is going to help you much. We have to enter to the export market. So these are the four subjects I will be touching upon. We all know that contribution to GDP is around 4 to 5% and going to be further increased. This has also got a great role to create employment. Then of course now we are the number one for milk production. So how to process it, convert to product, these all things depend on export potential. Now, we start with this farming level. This is one of the most critical process parameter. Milk, all of you know milk is a, say 14% solid is there and rest of is water. So basically we are transporting water from one farming place to another and then using a lot of energy in chilling, pasteurization. These things needs to be economized and minimized because today we have got technology available with us in form of membrane filtration. There are many membrane filtration available worldwide. People are using. Unfortunately, in our country, being a tropical country, being so hot, that milk gets destroyed in just 5 or 6 or 8 hours. So people are doing all illegal things, adding caustic, adding some here and there, this all things to save milk. Today we have got RO concentration plant wherein milk volume could be reduced by 40 to 50%. That your transportation cost will also come down. Your chilling cost, bulk milk, cooler cost, bulk milk, cooler quantity, everything will get reduced. And once this transportation part is reduced, which is possible if you use RO concentration plant. You have two types of RO concentration plant. You can concentrate milk, whole milk without separating fat. Very much possible. But it is a bit sensitive, we need to be very careful. Then second is you can concentrate skim milk also. But in that case, at farm level, separating fat and then separating cream and putting in processing differently will become a little complicated. So it's better to use whole milk filtration system, reduce the volume, and at farm level itself, there is a membrane available. How many how many are students sitting here in audience? Can you raise your hands? Good number, very good number. So I'm happy. I'd like to concentrate this speech only, catering my students' requirements. Of course, these other intelligent people are already sitting here. You see, when you have got a milk, a lot of bacteria and other yeast mold things at farm level. So once you reduce that also, that is possible by microfiltration. You can reduce the bacterial load very significantly. You can reduce microbacterial load. You can even volume reduction will be there. Then you bring it to processing section. And once it comes to processing section, now a plant which is say right now handling 10 lakh liter milk need to have a processing plant and need to process only half of that, say 5 lakh liter a day. Then there are many processes which is happening in the process. Sanjay Bhatia ji rightly told you about all automation and all that. Of course, I will not speak much about this AI, artificial intelligence, and highly this PLC or SCADA automation or all that. That is today part of our process system. Even if we don't speak, we don't do. Every equipment is today backed by this PLC, SCADA, and all automated process. So the moment it comes to this process section, there are different activities which needs to be carried out, like chilling, pasteurization, cream separation, cream pasteurization. If you are manufacturing, say, skim milk powder, then you need a evaporator, then you need a dryer. So today we have once you have reduced this volume, so pasteurization capacity has also got reduced. Now, let's take this way. Why people keep on pasteurizing this milk many times? So once you have a pasteurized milk, there is, again you have got a ultra high heat treatment, or different type of heat treatment fitted in the evaporator. We need to economize that. There are many methods, many things where we can reduce those heat treatment, and then finally you concentrate it. So there are two ways to concentrate this. Either you concentrate using steam energy, or you do it through electrical energy. So today thermal energy is becoming costly, so better to use steam energy in form of MVR, mechanical vapor recompression system. Once you consume less energy, obviously processing cost will reduce, our product cost will get reduced, we will be able to penetrate to the export market, local market, more profit for the producer. Then it comes to dryer. Dryer, you all know it's for drying. So before we talk about dryer, let's come back to again membrane. Now, okay, we are one of the leading or one of the most milk producing country. This thing we are producing around 200 or 220 billion liter or something like that. But it has got a various ingredients. So there is a lactose. There are one set of people who do not like lactose. They are allergic towards lactose. There are protein, old aged person. they don't know one particular protein. They need certain protein, only one part of that protein out of say 8 or 10 protein available in the milk. So with this membrane, today whatever membrane we have available, mainly there are two types of membrane available. One is called polymeric, second one is called ceramic. Polymeric has got a life of 1.5 years maximum, ceramic has got a life of 8 to 10 years. From these membrane you can separate casein protein, you can separate serum protein. Serum protein is the one, you must be using this whey powder for bodybuilding and all that. So that is a serum protein. So you can separate casein protein, serum protein, and then once you have separated, even the protein separation can be also achieved through this membrane filtration in the different category. That means the milk which is so precious, costly, can be converted into so many different type of product, and that a specific milk could be used for old aged, children, someone who doesn't like lactose or someone who is allergic towards lactose and like that. So you can say utilization of this milk would be increased. How that is possible? This is possible only because of membrane filtration. So that is possible. Even see, we have got a different category of serum protein. Someone wants very concentrated level, say WPI, whey protein isolate, little more than 80%. Then you have again this ultrafiltration, double ultrafiltration, microfiltration in combination has got to play a role to give you WPI, whey protein isolate also. WPC 40, where 40% is the protein, you can also produce with that. So membrane filtration has got a great role to play. Even it boils down to water. More water consumption means you are consuming more water, means you are putting more energy, you are increasing your product cost, you are increasing processing cost. So today we have RO pollution, or you can say RO concentration. 90% of the water being generated, two water gets generated in evaporator. One is a process condensate, second comes calendaria number 1 where you use steam. So these two if you mix these two condensate, 90% of these condensate could be used, recovered, and even you can drink that water without any problem. You will not have any problem, no problem with the stomach or anything. You can use it for process. That is how your water consumption will come down. Before I forget another issue I can tell you. If this membrane can be used for separating, we have got a chemical where we use caustic, we use nitric acid for cleaning the equipment. You separate them out, say grade 1 or say type A water. So this where effluent being generated for when you clean the equipment, you put into grade A or category A. Second is your process, where you clean equipment and other things. Third is your evaporator, condensate and all that. These three can be segregated separately and can be processed by using these again membrane filtration. This volume of this water will come down to 20%. The plant which is say handling 10 lakh liter milk and generating a effluent of 20 lakh liter milk, if you use this filtration, it will come down to just 2.5 lakh liter. I'm not talking only theoretical point. It's practically possible. People are using. If you use this membrane, it is very much possible. Very much possible. So this has a great role to play to make profitability more and more. With this, I would like to end. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Questions later on, please. So now I request Mr. Pradeep Khannaji, his Group Project Manager in Process Candida, and after his sir, Pradeep.
साथ में पकड़ा।
Hello. Hello. Hi. I'm Pradeep Khanna, like I got introduced. For the past 2 or 3 years, I've been working in the field of artificial intelligence. It's a very different kind of AI. इसीलिए जब tech बना रहे थे, I made sure we were using artificial intelligence and not AI in the subsequent slide. Thank you. Right. So before I start, right, I like to know my audience when I'm talking. So, quick show of hands. How many people prefer करेंगे Hindi or English का mix rather than I go on in English? Because I heard those numbers. Yes, thank you. And another quick show of hands. How many people in this room have a ChatGPT account and are actively using it? Very nice. Good. Now, Gemini, Bart, Google. Nice. How many of you have used the WhatsApp Meta? Good. Thank you. So clearly, I see a bias in the room. There is a clear process. Thank you. Okay. 3 simple things, right? Artificial intelligence, not AI. Artificial intelligence. Thank you. And Ndri, because we are here. And you. Right? पहले artificial intelligence को समझे. What is artificial intelligence? I will not get into the Hindi translation of the word. कृत्रिम बुद्धिमत्ता को समझना काफी मुश्किल काम हो जाएगा. So, how many of you know all 3 of these people on the screen? कितने लोग जानते हैं तीनों को? तीनों लोगों को? Wow, thank you. अरे पीछे से हाथ ज़्यादा आने चाहिए थे, आगे खड़े होने बस. Thank you, sir. हाँ? Okay. ये 3 लोग, right? These 3 faces, they represent a paradigm paradox, right? They represent a huge shift in the way we understand technology. Just to introduce them, the first one of them, right? She is the first beauty queen, AI. She is the first Miss AI of this world, right? She was born in Morocco. I mean, she was created in Morocco, right? She is a socialite. उसके Telegram पर, Snapchat पर accounts हैं. She is a very active blogger, right? And she recently won a billion. So yes. The other one is Sophia. Sophia तो इंडिया में भी आई थी, IIM वगैरह में उसके speeches भी हुए थे, right? So Sophia was the first robot to be given a citizenship. She was given the citizenship of UAE and she holds a permanent visa to work out of the US. Right? So, and the third one, right? The dabba that looks like a washing machine, that is another, we talk of mental health and stress, right? Dunia ka pehla robot that committed suicide. It said it was too overworked. It went into a corner of a stair landing. It went around a couple of times and then threw itself off the stairs. Right? So if anybody who's working here thinks overwork is killing them, you are not alone. If that is any consolation. So AI, right? When people talk about AI, हम AI को 4 दिन में घुसा सकते हैं. right? We have a lot of jargon around AI. We talk of Hugging Face, we talk of GANs and GPTs and neural networks and self-learning systems, and I deal with all of them, right? If you want, I can give you the 10-hour session. I promise you will be dead by the time I'm done. Right? But I'm not going to do that, right? We are trying to understand AI in very simple terms. What is AI and how does it work? How do machines learn? They learn just like humans, right? जब हम छोटे होते हैं, when we are kids, what is the first thing we see? Mama points out and says, "Beta, देखो tube light," right? वो fan. Next time Mama asks, "Beta, fan है?" and you say, "Huh?" Right? That's the first thing. That is data assimilation. You're assimilating. ये fan है. That's a tube light, right? Then you learn to connect cause and effect, right? Okay, smart kids learn sooner. If I start howling, Mama will come and feed me, right? Cause and effect. If I turn the switch on, the tube light will go on, right? That is cause and effect. Okay, let me also bring on the terms. The first one is called data classification. ये ट्यूबलाइट है, ये पंखा है, ये टेलीविजन है. The second thing is called data science. जहाँ पर we start building correlations between causes and effects, correlations between data. We like to throw all this jargon. मेरा काम है. Every year, every 6 months, there should be new jargon in the market so that I am in business. Right? Okay. The third one is what we call data science. जहाँ पर हम functions को correlate करना शुरू करते हैं, right? Okay. काफी लोग कमरे में connect कर पाते हैं. If I say that, and आजकल fashionable भी है थोड़ा कि हर चीज का ancient India में कोई connection नहीं मिला, right? But there is actually a connection here. How many of you know some ancient India concept of data science? So which one?
Ancient India is something like starting from finite to infinite. It covers all and is being expanded out.
Yes. Thank you. So yes, absolutely right. And one example that I like to quote of data science is Jyotish, palmistry, right, astrology, where a whole lot of data is connected together to predict or try to predict outcomes that are going to happen in the future. That is just another form of data science. I'm not getting into the precision of it. That is a whole other debate. And then we talk of artificial intelligence. हमें पता लग गया कि बारिश होने वाली है. We know it's going to rain, right? Something or someone should turn the umbrellas on, should bring the awning down, right? That is artificial intelligence. जो decisions हमने, जो predictions हमने निकाले, उनको decisions में convert करें, right? Very simple. And then we talk of intelligence, and then we talk of ethics of AI, right? When you have the capability to make things happen, but then you have to decide, is it worth it to make that happen, right? मैं वहाँ पर बॉम्ब गिराने की capability है, पर क्या मुझे बॉम्ब गिरा देना चाहिए, right? That is Sudeep mentioned in the morning, right? There is something called singularity, right? It's a complete concept by itself, but we also talk of ethical AI, which is sort of the opposite of singularity, at least for now. Right? I will not stop for questions. Although I'd love to have it that way, but okay. I've been told not to stop for questions. Right? So we saw these 4 types of industry, or these 4 steps on the evolution of industry, right? क्योंकि लोग अक्सर पूछते हैं यार तुम तो कंप्यूटर वाले हो गए, तुम्हारा तो काम है, मुझे क्यों बता रहे हो? राइट, मेरे बच्चे कर लेते हैं, वो गूगल से बात कर सकते हैं, काफी है, राइट? मैं तो अपना फैक्ट्री चलाता हूँ या मशीन्स बनाता हूँ, मुझे कर लेते हैं, राइट? So we saw this in the morning. Another quiz. How many people know the answer to the first one? What is special about not milk? Do you know what nut milk is? Okay. Have you heard of this company called Catalyze? Have you seen this cookbook? It's a cookbook by Unilever. It was created in collaboration with the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, not the wrestling ones. Anybody? Okay. These are again in the industry, food industry and related industry, these are again landmarks. Right? Notwell is the first dairy product whose formulation is completely given by an artificial intelligence algorithm. Right? So they basically set a generative AI to work. वो गया इधर उधर what are the tastes that people like, what are the sugar concentrations, and it is not milk, so it is a plant-based milk. Right? So, and they were able to recreate a milk that cleared more than 80% of taste tests when people sort of compare it to natural milk. That is one of the benchmarks for plant-based milk. Who am I to teach? Yeah, but okay. Right, Catalan. You've seen security cameras in farmhouses, right? अभी आज सुबह वो the chief guest, Alumni, right? She was talking about the mental health of cows, right? वो कैसे classical Indian music में जाके they were keeping their cows sharp, right? So mental health of cows, the amount of stress that cows are in, the kind of hormones they secrete because of that, is already a very big topic, right? And a lot of it is related to cow behavior, right? We were talking about human behavior, but the only something by we are at cow behavior already. So this company, Catalyte, it actually ingests, consumes data from simple cameras in the fields on the farm. It analyzes cow behavior and it is able to not just predict कि आपका yield कैसा होगा quality में, quantity में. It is also able to tell you कि आपको कहाँ पर where you need to intervene to make them better. Right? And this cookbook, it was not curated by humans. It was curated by an AI algorithm which sort of went out. And the first criteria was sustainability. So there's a lot of millets and quinoa and mushrooms in it, right? And then it sort of started putting ingredients together. It picked up recipes from around the world, and it came up with a whole new set of recipes of sustainable cereals and crops that are healthy to eat and friendly to the pocket. Right? It is downloadable free. So if you go to the anyway, and at the end I will give you a link. I will put all the material there. You can download it from that later. Yeah. You don't need to take pictures. I'll just give you the text. So, like I said, right? मैं 10 घंटे आप सबको बिठाकर मार सकता हूँ सब topics के साथ. I can kill you with all of that. We do a lot of stuff in AI, right? Using AI. Now, for example, in the morning we were talking of product development and gene engineering on data, right? I don't know, at least some people in the room have already seen how artificial intelligence, specifically what we call narrow transformers, right, are being used to do genome sequencing, to identify what genes lead to what, and then on the next step, just like Northwell created they created a recipe for Northwell, they are also able to create a genetic recipe for the next best cow that we want to have. Right, so that technology is already there. For example, for one client who is in the pharma, I'm not able to name them obviously, right? When they do a new molecule research, right? The first and the most intensive part of that research is what is called literature review. Right? Existing literature, क्या है, किस drug की क्या morphology है, क्या कैसे वो body में synthesize होती है, right? And whatever. Right? So their entire literature review process, which used to go at least a year for when they were looking for a novel molecule, that process is now reduced to less than a week through this. Right? There's a whole lot of other applications we can probably discuss over tea and coffee, right? But the idea is only partly the dairy industry. The idea is more you, right? You know, like a very famous prime minister said, right, and I am misquoting it. in that sense, right, मैं क्या करूँ, right, आपको क्या करना है? Like I said, I lead a research group on artificial intelligence, right, for my employer, which also I'm not allowed to name from the stage. Okay. So we see two kind of people, right? How many of the people can identify this animal? Okay. A very widely misquoted phenomena, but okay, very widely misquoted phenomena. They say it hides it, buries its head in the sand when it sees a predator approaching, which is a very convoluted version of what it actually does. But anyhow, it still stands as a metaphor for not being able to see what is coming, not having any ear on the rail, right? So there are this whole set of people who still don't have a ChatGPT account. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to be derogatory, but before you get out of the room, please sign up on ChatGPT. That is the next thing. If you have an Android phone, do download Gemini. Do try Meta once before you go to sleep tonight. Because you like it or not, it is coming. And it is invading every single aspect of your life. Right? We had the printing press, then we had the steam engine, then we had computers, then we had internet, and now we have artificial intelligence. From printing press to the steam engine was a couple of centuries, right? From the steam engine to the computer was again probably almost a century. From the steam engine to the computer was how many years? About half a century, right? From computers to internet, about a quarter of a century. From internet to AI, we are talking about 10, 15 years, right? So that cycle time of technology is changing, and what you have to understand is that now with AI and AI coming into the picture, अभी तक क्या था, all these advancements, right? इनको humans create कर रहे हैं. तो एक human ने computer बनाया, फिर एक human ने software बनाया, फिर एक human ने internet लगाया, अब machines कर रहे हैं. Algorithms are creating algorithms. They are much faster, much better, much less error prone than humans. For example, it takes about 2 hours now to create a new doctor who can diagnose peripheral eye diseases with nearly 100 times more accuracy than a human MD with 15 years of experience, right? And yeah, basically, it takes about 2 hours to create that kind of a doctor, right? How many years does it take to create an ophthalmologist with that kind of experience? 15, 20 years, right? 6 साल का पढ़ाई, उसके बाद MD, उसके बाद 15 साल काम करेगा, 20 साल हो गए, then they get to that level, and 2 hours. So, okay, and the second kind of people, right? Sorry. Recently I was in a webinar by Gartner, and the Gartner guy said a very beautiful thing. He said, if you're holding the hammer of AI in your hand, every nut looks like a nail. So, हर जगह AI लगा है, right? People come to me and something basic that they can do in an Excel, some very little data that AI can't even ingest, right? They want to apply GPT on it. We don't do that, guys. We don't do a sledgehammer to break a peanut, right? So, how am I going on time? 3 minutes. Okay, so करें क्या? What do we do? इतना कुछ बोल रहा है, डरा रहा है, बाकी लोग भी डरा रहे हैं, right? करें क्या? First of all, obviously, do you know these two pictures in the center? How many people can identify those two devices? Towers. You know, So you can't afford it, right? And especially if you're young, especially people who have, like I have about 10 years of working life left in me before I retire, right? So हो सकता है मेरा चल जाए, right? लेकिन जिन लोग का अभी आगे, they have 15, 20, 30 years of working life left in them, right? Anything more than 4 or 5, right? You have to pick up, right? You don't have a choice, right? So obviously the usual cycle, get familiar with it, सीखना शुरू करें, right? Vibes of time. Next time you go to YouTube, instead of watching random TikTok reels, right? If you spend some time watching what AI is doing in whatever your field of interest is, right? अगर आपको story लिखना पसंद है, how AI is being used to write stories. If you like research, there are specialized websites available where you can actually apply AI to do that kind of literature review. So what we built for this pharma company is out there in the public domain to some extent, right? So obviously that was more specialized, but right. So and practice it. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you are designing products, if you are into product engineering or process engineering, there are a million other ways you can apply these technologies on whatever you do. So right from trying to create a reel to trying to create a new technology for running a milk plant, right, to creating a new cow which can give, I don't know, whatever, milk for lactose intolerant people, right? There's a whole lot of stuff. Some things, however, do not change, in spite of what we have done, right? Some things do not change. We talk of T-shaped understanding. How many people know T-shaped understanding of topics? T-shaped learning, right? A lot of breadth, but a depth on at least one topic. That's a T-shaped learning. You need to have that. You still need to have it. You need to have the capability to define a problem, right? वो दवाई दे देगा ये, लेकिन दर्द कहाँ होता है आपको बताना पड़ेगा, right? उससे सवाल कैसे पूछना? How to ask that question? Like, how many people in this room are the friend or have a friend who is like 100 times better at looking up things on Google? Simple. Do you have a friend who you always angry because मेरे को तो कोई Google पे मिलता नहीं, उसको तो मिलता था, right? So it's just like that. You need to ask the right questions, right? You need to federate with the right tools. दिमाग अकेला किसी काम का नहीं है अगर साथ में हाथ पैर नहीं होंगे, right? So AI has to connect with the PLC systems and the IoT devices and the robotics that are in place in order to make things work. That job is left to humans still, right? Authentic intelligence which lies in embracing change. Again the same thing. Technologies आएंगी, जाएंगी. करियर रहना चाहिए, इंसान रहना चाहिए. With that, thank you. There's a QR code here. You can take a picture if you want. I'll put a lot of more material on this. It's just a Google Drive.
Thank you very much, sir. We are running late, but I will request audience that we will take only one or two questions from the basically student side or any advanced side. If any queries are there, then our experts are there. So I think there is no queries from the audience side.
ब्रदर इसमें डुप्लीकेट करना है.
Pradeep Khannaji will interact with so he will answer. Any students? So okay, thank you very much. If not, any queries are there. So to summarize this session, we have discussed about the digitization and automation and data analysis. So these three things is going to play a very important role in Indian dairy and food industry, as well as need to energy optimization in the dairy industry. That is also a need of the hour, and we need to focus on energy optimization or reduction of energy consumption in the dairy industry. Similarly, to ensure the quality milk production or quality dairy products, especially for the export orientation. And for this, we need to clean milk production technology. So we are working on this also, and but still we need to focus on this area. Basically to come up with the international standards and to create the export market. Same way, to reduce the energy transportation of the milk. So that membrane filtration that could be play a very important role in coming time. So we need to focus on that membrane filtration technology or intervention at the farm level or milling, collection and cooling centers. So that is also required, and of course artificial intelligence or machine learning, these are discussed by Pradeep Khannaji. These are going to be very important role in industry 4.0, in dairy or food industry, or to achieve the goal by 2047. So these are the summary of this session. I thanks to my experts and all experts to deliver excellent lecture in this session. Thanks to audience for patient caring, and thanks to my reporter to be here. I think he has noted down all the points and he will enable us. Thanks to organizer for giving me opportunity to chair this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful session throughout, with various key insights shared by all the speakers, which we would like to hereby extend our hearty gratitude to the chairman, reporter, and the phenomenal speakers of the session. Thank you, sir.
Now I request Mr. Ajit Patel, Managing Director, Everest Instruments, to please come up on the stage and felicitate chairman, reporter, and speakers. I request everyone for a picture.
request everyone to please take your seats. There, down the dais. Now I hand over the mic to Sri Hari from BTech final year.
Greetings everyone, I hope everyone had a beautiful session. The technical session 2 was really great. And now we're going to break for 5 minutes before proceeding to special session 1, which is going to contain business promotion, technical presentations and technology showcase session. I'll just announce the names of the presenters. I request please make sure that you are present here. And if your PPTs are not yet uploaded, kindly approach the stage so that we can upload it here. The speakers are Mr. Tommaso Fiani, Mr. Ajit Patel, Mr. Sanjay Bhatia, Mr. Naresh Sharma, Mr. Kaushal Vaishnav, Mr. Deepak Malik, Mr. Atul Saxena, and Mr. Hashif Hassan. Kindly make sure everyone are present here. If the above said names are not present here, colleagues in the stage are requested to contact them and make sure they are available here within the next 5 minutes. Thank you very much.